What is going on, you guys? Gurren Lagann episodes 8 and 9. Starting off with episode 8, just want to apologize for being an unintentional asshole and delaying this review so much, because it's already bad enough that I delayed it, and I do apologize. I really have no excuse. It was just kind of procrastination on my part. Yeah, I delayed it, obviously, and it's bad enough that I delayed the episode at all, because you guys want to see the video, but it's this episode that I took forever to release, and I do feel kind of shitty for that, because this is like the episode that you want to see someone react to and review, because it's like the big death. It's Kamina's death, and I'm going to come right out and say it. I knew this was going to happen. That's right, I was spoiled. Not like, oh fuck, damn, I didn't want to be spoiled. It was just sort of like a conversation I was having with a friend a while back, and I didn't really care about the series at the time. I wasn't planning to review it. He had seen it recently, and we were talking about it, and I didn't care about spoilers. So he was like, yeah, the coolest character dies kind of early on, and that sucked. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And, I'm just talking with him about it. And enough about his opinions. These are my fucking opinions. But anyways, he tells me that, and I forgot the character's name, but as soon as I started episode 1, and I saw Kamina, and I saw his personality, while I didn't gravitate to him immediately, I assumed this was the character he was talking about, and then I did gravitate towards Kamina, and I started to really like him, and I was like, fuck, I know this character's gonna die. I've been knowing he's gonna die for 7 episodes. I didn't know it was gonna happen in episode 8. Blah, 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 couldn't talk. I didn't know it was going to happen in episode 8. However, I was still dreading this moment, and anticipating this moment, so it kind of makes it hard to review, actually, because do I feel like the death flags with him and Yoko were, like, too obvious? Or do I think they're obvious because I knew he was going to get killed? See, it kind of skews your perspective, which I guess makes this review a little bit more interesting, to say the least. But yeah, it was really sad to see him go. Not just because he was a really cool character and, him dying sucks because he was really cool and all that. What also I'm really worried about is, because I do think him dying is fine. It can develop Simone, it can develop Yoko, it can develop all the characters, really, because he's such a big inspiration for a lot of them. And because he was such a likable character for me as an audience member, feeling bad that he died, even knowing it was going to happen, and still getting attached to him because he was so likable, that's a testament to really good writing. And it is really good writing to kill off a likable character like this if it's going to serve the story and it's going to develop the characters, not just to make the audience get the feels, you know what I mean? That's some like a Kame got kill shit. This is not pulling that kind of shit. This is like genuine, good story writing. My only issue, bringing it back to that though, my only big issue is two issues. One is for the episode itself, and the other is for the future of the show. For the future of the show, is the death of Kamina going to make me less invested in the story? Because I'll be completely honest with you guys, while I don't think any of the characters are necessarily bad, and I don't dislike any of them, I am nowhere near attached to any of them as much as I was to Kamina. I don't find Yoko or Simone nearly as interesting, nearly as charismatic. They're not wood. Like I said, they're not awful, they're not even bad, but I'm not nearly as interested in them as I was in Kamina, and I was really hoping he was going to die at like the halfway point or something, but no, he's already gone. Great death. I guess I should talk more about the episode itself. I mean, that's the big part of the episode, but there's really not much to say, honestly. The action's great, the animation's great, Kamina has so many good lines, the Giga Drill's fantastically animated. Background was kind of crazy on that. I feel like that's going to be a bank animation, maybe, like, how they do the transformation, because had that just been a cool attack that he just kind of did and it was badass, I've said, oh, that was cool, but I feel like because the background was so crazy, that's probably going to be like a reused thing. In fact, I think my friend told me that. I could be pulling that out of my ass, because I've been talking to him more recently about the show, now that I'm actually watching it, and he's not spoiling anything else, obviously, but still, I'm talking with him, and he might have mentioned that they reused that, now that I think about it, but yeah, it feels that way anyways, which I don't know why I'm focusing on talking about that so much. It's just, it's cool. I hope I don't get tired of seeing it, I guess, because it was badass. And yeah, Kamina was awesome, as he always is, pretty much. Really cool lines from him. I don't remember all of them word for word, and I wouldn't try to quote them anyway, but lots of cool lines. Now for my second issue, because this episode would be an 11 out of 10, with the death, with the animation, with the story progression of them taking over the giant fucking gunman. All the stuff that happens in this episode it would be an easy 11 out of 10. But I really don't like what caused the death. Granted, he doesn't die immediately, he just takes this big blow. But the fact that he had to go over to Simone and convince him to fucking get his head out of his ass because he's thinking about that stupid kiss, something so trivial in the moment. And I know that he's kind of young, but at the very least, I hope this really hits Simone the hardest. He should genuinely feel bad for causing this death because it is his fault. I mean, you could indirectly blame Yoko, but it's pretty much Simone's fault that this happened because he was dwelling on something like that when... Why was he dwelling on it exactly? Isn't she... How old is Simone? Is he just like a small dude, or is he legitimately younger? Because he seems way younger than Kamina and Yoko, but I don't know. But yeah, it's just... Don't like that him having to encourage Kamina, or him having to encourage Simone and everything, and then taking that big hit, and just... I didn't like that. I thought that was a really dumb way to kill off the character, a dumb reason for him to have to die. But again, it could lead to some really good character development. Speaking objectively, it's not that bad. It's not really bad at all. I just, personally, I can't get past that. I can't quite give the episode an 11 out of 10, because that's a pretty big issue I have with it, personally, for me. If you think it's nitpicking, or if you disagree, go ahead and tell me in the comment section below. Neither of us are wrong in this case. It's purely just my subjective opinion. But that is my issue with the episode. I'd still probably give this episode around like a solid 9 to 10 out of 10. 11 is just reserved for like the goddamn that was awesome, hits you right there episodes that are also really well written and really well animated. And that would have been this episode had it not had that one issue for me personally. So you guys can call it an 11 out of 10 if that's your opinions on it, and I'll give my opinion on it, which is a 10 out of 10. Still a fantastic episode of the series. Wonderful animation, wonderful action, fantastic dialogue from Kamina. He will be missed. Simone, please fucking develop after this. If you don't, I'm gonna have some serious issues, because this was like the key thing to your development, and it cost us the most interesting character in the show, so you better deliver. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll move on to Episode 9. Episode 9, the disrespect to my man Kamina in the fucking opening. And the title card font, because he's basically been completely replaced by this new bitch who, no offense to her, but I have no idea if this character is going to live up to Kamina, but the opening and the new title cards make it seem like she's going to be a new focus on the series, and she better be good. She better be a good character, because Kamina was awesome. And you can say I'm nitpicking because it's like the opening and like the title card font, it really doesn't matter. You know, I sort of am nitpicking, I'm aware of that, but at the same time, I feel like replacing Kamina with her in those spots is sort of a statement that this is going to be the new focused on character. Not the main character, I'm pretty sure it's finally going to be Simone in full, but still, she's going to be a major focus, and she doesn't have to be like Kamina personality-wise, but she's clearly a replacement, so she needs to at least live up to how epic he was, and I really doubt she will, at least for me personally. I hate to prejudge her like that, but she's got that fucking annoying whispery voice that I fucking hate. Now, there's some characters I can deal with it with, like I don't mind Elizabeth from Seven Deadly Sins too much, and there are a couple others that I can make exceptions for, but she has that annoying fucking voice. Coming out of a voice actress who has a distinct, very recognizable voice, so that's annoying too, but that's like a total aside. So yeah, but she has a cool design, kind of, like her hair is cool looking and her eyes are kind of cool, but that's pretty much it. And she exists, and apparently she's the Spiral King's daughter. She said that really fast, so I'm not sure if that's what she said, but she definitely has a relation to him. And yeah, that's pretty much it about her. She's kind of clueless about humans, because she's never left the city. I'm assuming that big spiral place is where she came from, which also we get introduced to the Spiral King, and we get introduced to like his elite dudes. Kind of reminded me of Kill La Kill, especially with one of them actually sounding like one of the dudes from Kill La Kill, at least in the dub. Same voice actor as Neji from Naruto, if I'm not mistaken, actually. But anyways, they're there. Spiral King, I guess human. That's interesting. Not too sure if he's human or not, because he has a big-ass cloak on. Kind of reminds me of Father from fucking Fullmetal Alchemist, actually, but he's there. Possibly human, since his daughter's human. Not too sure. But yeah, getting introduced to those characters and seeing this big spiral city thing, definitely good world building. What little world building you can do with a series that's basically all rocky desert. Well, not all rocky desert. There have been some forests and stuff, but mostly you get a lot of desert shots. And I guess just to talk about the character grieving, because that's one of the best parts of the episode. Now, I'm going to fully admit right now that Simone is a very unlikable douche right now, but it's good writing at the same time because he's handling grief in his own way, and it's good. You know, it's cool to see a character hit their lowest low because you want to see them rise back up. So he's being developed, which is what I wanted him to, you know, he needs to be developed. He needs to recognize that what happened to Kamina, whether you want to say it's all his fault or indirectly his fault or whatever, it's still his fault for not having his head in the game for such a stupid reason. I still think the reason why his head wasn't in the game was so stupid, but anyways, I get he's like a teenager, but still. Yeah, he basically was at least partly responsible for the death of Kamina, and that needs to hit him hard. And he needs to bounce back from it at some point. Not immediately, but at some point. So, I think the development from him is really good. Yoko's going through her own thing. There's all this rain, and it makes everything feel sort of depressing. And there's trash pickup outside, so that might be kind of loud. I don't know. But anyways, their new base looks cool. It has a new color palette. I don't know if that was like them painting it, or if it just changed colors, because series by this creator tend to fucking do that, like the Scissors and Kill La Kill were like purple when that one chick had him, and then they were just red when what's-her-name got him, and then when they put that helmet on, it just kind of turned red out of nowhere. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just what happened to the base. I have no idea, but the base still looks weird, but it works as a base for other gunmen, and then we get to see the interior of that, and we get to see some of the other characters who are learning to be gunman pilots, like a forehead dude. Which, that was the one moment where Simone was a dick to him, like, out of nowhere, and I was like, okay, that's a little, like, I get that you're grieving, but that was a little too mean-spirited, but not a big deal at all, total nitpick. It was just a scene that happened that I figured I'd comment on. But, you know, he's going through good development, Yoko seems to be going through good development, definitely want to see where it's going to go, and that's pretty much the episode. Some solid world building, introduced to a new, possibly, most likely important character, who probably won't live up to Kamina, but we'll see. And, yeah, opening and fucking title cards, disrespecting Kamina like fuck, but whatever, they're just the openings and title cards, so that's like a nitpick, but, yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. Did I mention they confronted one of the, elite people at the end of that episode? Because they did, so that's a thing. That's it, though, that's really all I have to say. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but no, that's pretty much the entire episode. Oh, the animation. The animation was overall really good, as it usually is. It was nothing mind-blowing, but it was good animation for the series. But the actual artwork was... It wasn't episode 4 bad or anything, but the artwork was definitely shittier than usual. Not the worst, like I could take it for the most part. There was one spot with Simone standing there being lectured by the blonde dude, and he looked like he had like no arms. Like I couldn't tell what the hell was going on with his art. He looked like Pez dispenser fucking Simone. But there's that part, and then Yoko throughout the entire episode looked really off-model face-wise, but not a big deal. Animation overall was still good, so not a big deal at all. I figured it was just worth commenting on because it was different than usual. So with all that being said, I'd probably give this episode a solid 8.5 to 9 out of 10. I think it's handling the character development and characterization really well, introducing the new character, getting a little bit of world building in there. Lots of really great stuff in this episode. It's a really, really good episode. Just my own personal gripes with the new character aside, and, you know, just stuff like that. So we'll just have to wait and see where it goes, reserving real critical judgment until I see more of this character, but that's episode 9. 9.5 out of 10. And what do you guys think of this episode of Gurren Lagann? You guys or both of these episodes, you go and tell me in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. Give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.